Welcome back everyone to another under 450k video, and in this one I'm going to talk about a little location in Tasmania that no one actually really talks about, and that location, as you can see on the screen, is Devonport. And as you can see, Devonport right is in the top of Tasmania, in the center of it, and very close to Melbourne or Victoria. It's just about a ferry ride away. In fact, there's many ferries that go in that location. And Devonport is one of those locations that have many opportunities under $500,000 to actually purchase property in this area. And it has opportunities around that $450,000 budget as well. And there is good opportunities and good value here. But the suburb doesn't have the best metrics or the best data behind it. I'm going to go into it as well. So, of course, like always, make sure you do your own due diligence about these locations, but also make sure you watch through till the end of the video to fully understand why Devonport could be a good option for you to consider as an investment opportunity. And just before I go any further into the video, if you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to my free email newsletter. In this email newsletter, for the next 30 days, I will give you 30 property tips and insights that you can utilize directly into your investment journey. Every single day, I will send you a new email. It's absolutely free and it only provides amazing value. So make sure you plug your email in and get educated as a property investor today. Let's get back into the video. Now, like always, the first thing we have to do is look at the data behind Devonport and determine whether or not it is a good location to invest into, because the data will give us a picture of what is happening in the market and what could potentially happen in the market in the future. And when we start to look, we can see the median buy price is around $514,000 with a 3-bedroom at around $488,000. A yield of 4.5%, but you can get a bit above as well, around closer to that 5% mark. We can see that Devonport's population, or just this part of it's around 14,000, but in total, Devonport is around 26 to 30,000 population off the top of my head. And when you look at the typical price, you can see that it's only had about 7% growth over the past 3 years, which means it's been consistently performing somewhat, like it's still growing, and over the past year around 2%. If we start to zoom out a little bit, we can see that over the past 10 years, you can see that it's been consistently performing. It's never been a whole cyclical up and down movement. It may be just a little bit around 2009, but overall it has been performing relatively consistently for a very small town or location. And in 2019, in 2020, along with most other regional locations, you can see it went through a bit of a COVID boom, and it presents us a potentially good opportunity. We can see median rents have also been rising around 5% over the past year, which is really good to see. We want to see those rents rise because increasing rents will allow us to make sure we can upkeep with maintenance, etc. The yield has also been increasing, which is good to see with the rising rents. And when we go look at the fundamentals, we can see the ERSAT score is sitting at 1, which is what you find in very small regional locations or lower socioeconomic areas. The renter to owner occupier ratio is 36, which is neither good nor bad. It's in a middle spot. And honestly, in a location like this, 36% is quite good, which means there's a lot of owner occupiers there, which means it's an area that people want to live in. We look at the affordability index, we can see that it's at 35 years. Now, for a regional location, for it to already be sitting at 35 years, it's not great, right? I'll be completely honest. Like some of these other regional locations, they're sitting closer towards a 30-year mark. This is just acceptable, right? This is what I consider an acceptable affordability index for a small regional location. Now we get onto the more interesting stuff, supply and demand. With stock on market, we can see it's 0.18%, and we can see this has been dropping over the past couple of months. Now it has a declining trend downwards, which is really good for us to see, right? As an investor, we want to see the stock to keep on reducing, because that means a decrease in supply will have increased market pressure, which could lead to capital growth. Now, as always, we must look at that in combination with days on market, and we can see days on market, the overall long-term trend has been increasing, which is not good for us to see. But in the short term, you can see it has relatively stayed consistent. Now, what this tells us is that this market might not be the best market to invest into if you want really quick capital growth over the next 12 months or so. This is telling us that the demand has been steady. It's not been over the top. There's not many buyers, and there's not an oversupply of buyers in the market. There's just a consistent demand. But with this decreasing stock on market and this average days on market trend or average demand, if we start to see the buyers increase, then we can say the market will really start to heat up, and then we're looking at capital growth. But right now it's just been very steady, and that's also been forecasted by the fact that typical prices have been able to hold since the COVID growth. So right now the trends are good for us to see, right? And we can see vacancy rate is 0.66%, which is good. Very low vacancy, which means finding a tenant should not be difficult at all. And like always, you can always cross-reference this data with other free resources or other paid resources. You can see Devonport went through a bit of a COVID boom, has been sort of consistently rising in capital price, but it really hasn't done too much over the past 3 years, about 9%, 7% on an H tag, which is really good for us to see as an investor. But there is more. So basically, to sum it up, from the data side, what we're seeing in Devonport is that there's a decreasing amount of supply. It is not primed for capital growth, but there is potential. If the metrics start shifting in the right direction, if the demand starts increasing, we can see good capital growth potentially. But there is more to this, right? And this is why I think that Devonport is in an interesting position. That's the way I would describe it. It's in an interesting position. It's not the Albury Wodongas, it's not the Cairns in Queensland, it's not Perth or Armidale. It has opportunities, but for the right type of investor. And you need to watch through the end of the video to fully understand what I am talking about. But before I get into that, if you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the private community. Guys, there's over 230 members currently there. There's over 35 reviews of people getting the benefits of being part of this community. I have helped so many investors secure multiple deals. I have helped investors become more educated. I have helped investors avoid terrible deals out there. And it's not just me, it's the community members helping each other out to make sure we have an amazing property investment community. I guarantee you we're the number one investment community out there. It's $35 a month. It's an absolute no-brainer for you guys to be a part of, right? It is so cheap when you really think about the asset that you're buying. You put $35 in, you're buying a $500,000 asset. It's a worthwhile investment in my opinion. All right, so go check it out. It's an absolute no-brainer to join, and it's just $35 a month. And if you're feeling lost, confused, unsure about where to invest, what to invest into, and how to invest into, you need to be part of the private community. Let's get back into the video. Now, as a shrewd investor, the next thing we must look at is the economy, the job diversity, and the economic output of this location. You can see Devonport is home to about 27,000 people, 14,000 jobs, and outputs about $4.5 billion, which is not bad at all for a very small regional town, I would say. Like 27,000 people is not a location that I would normally consider because I like to have a larger population base. But there's some very good strong points about Devonport. And as you can see, the GRP has been increasing over the past couple of years, which is really good for us to see. We want to see a growing economy. We want to see more economic output. We want to see the area continually print out more jobs, money, and growth. That is what we want to see as an investor. And then when we look at industries, we can really start to break it down. We can see that it is split into healthcare, retail trade, construction, education, transport, and many more. So it's quite a well diversified industry from an economic standpoint and from an employment standpoint, right? Now, this is only one part of it, but as you can see, it is economically diversified. The other thing I want to call out, because it's important to understand about an area before you invest into, is its exports, right? Its exports are very important to the area. And you can actually see that manufacturing exports about $640 million out from Devonport. And there's a bit of an issue with this, right? You can see that manufacturing is about 35% of Devonport, which means that it takes a significant portion of its exports. So if something ever happened to the manufacturing industry within Devonport, it can put an impact into the area. It could lead to a loss of jobs, for example. It could lead to people leaving the area, which could dampen house prices in the long term. But overall, manufacturing is a big part of it, but it's one part of it. And we can see the rest of Devonport from its employment diversification. It's reasonably diversified, reasonably stable. And we can see over the past lifetime of house prices in Devonport, it has been reasonably stable and consistently growing. Unlike the Gladstones or the Northern Territories or Darwin, it hasn't gone through huge cyclical movements as the economy changes. So despite the manufacturing taking up a large portion of its exports, it's still reasonably diverse, reasonably safe for us to consider from a short to long-term investment. Obviously, anything in 15 years can happen. So after I've made my money, I probably would sell the property in this location. And there are some good projects happening in Devonport at this point in time. There is a very big Q-Link project that has been going on for quite a while, about a $240 million investment, bringing about 2,000 jobs and around 160,000 additional passengers. This is for their ferry ports. And it's a huge investment for Devonport. And when you're talking about $240 million, it might seem small in comparison to other major projects happening in Darwin or regional Queensland in Townsville, for example. But for a small location, for a small town, this is what we like to see. This sort of investment is reasonable, approachable, and it brings in money and jobs, which is really good. And this is a construction project that's already started. It's already in motion. So it's not just a plan, quote unquote. It's a real industrial project that is happening at this point in time. And there's also another promise by the Albanese government to bring about $6 million into federal funding of the revitalization of the Devonport CBD. Now, I think the $6 million is coming at a convenient time of the election to possibly win votes. Of course, funding is still good nonetheless, but anything can happen to that sort of funding, right? It's only been allocated, which means it can be withdrawn with the changing of governments, for example. But this is sort of one of the major industrial projects happening in Devonport, which is driving investment, driving jobs, etc. So I definitely think you should check it out, do your own due diligence, and make sure you're happy with everything. And let's just actually really talk about the houses within Devonport, because I think there are great opportunities to find good long-term investment properties here, right? They may be a little bit old, but under $550,000, you can find really good properties in and around the area. These are just some examples, like this one on Churchill Avenue, Devonport, 976 square meter block, pretty good property. And you can really find good properties in and around the area along Devonport. And just to show you what that looks like as well, if you put the price down at $500,000, there's still many opportunities available for you. Even in East Devonport, in Devonport itself, there's opportunities out there to purchase houses. Some of them are old, but they are renovated in the interior. So of course, do your own due diligence about the property that you actually choose, but there are good opportunities. And then you can also find some opportunities under $450,000. While there's not many, if you're a shrewd investor on a tight budget, this could be a good opportunity for you to pick something up before prices increase or before a horde of investors come through and buy a property. And just to show you sort of what the numbers look like on a property, on a $500,000 property in Devonport, you're paying about 18 grand in stamp duty at a 12% deposit, around equity or cash about $90,000. That's pretty much the standard these days across buying an investment property. And within Devonport, you're paying about $450 in rent per week, around a 4.68% yield. You can find better properties and better rental returns, but you're mainly going to be focusing on the 4.5 to 5% yield mark in Devonport, in my opinion. So you're really about negative $1,200 out of pocket every month or so, give or take, as well as yearly about negative $15,000 before any sort of tax refund as well. Of course, if you have a 20% deposit, that will make your cash flow situation better. This is the standard across most states at the moment, across regional New South Wales, regional Victoria, etc. And now I hope this has brought your attention to Devonport, right? There are opportunities under $450,000. There's opportunities under $500,000. It is an area, it's a location, it's an investment location, which is getting absolutely no attention at all, right? People are focusing on regional Victoria, regional New South Wales for good reason as well. At the point of recording, those areas in Victoria and New South Wales have really started to pick up. And if you don't want to compete with people and you're looking for a cool market to enter in, if you want to approach investing with a counter-cyclical approach and find areas that have great potential for value, a great buy price, and an okay yield, then Devonport ticks those boxes. Now, always do your own due diligence, right? Because I cannot sit here and guarantee you that Devonport is going to give you any meaningful equity within the next 12 months. Right now, the data doesn't look great when it comes to supply and demand. Yes, supply is decreasing, but the demand level has not started to increase yet. And we really want to see that increase so that we can tell a picture that the capital growth will occur. Right now, we are investing on an affordability factor, on a yield factor, on a counter-cyclical measure, and on a value measure, right? That is what Devonport offers for you as an investor. And if that suits you, then this is a location you can potentially consider. And it's always good to weigh the pros and cons of each suburb that you consider investing into and make a decision that way. And so I hope this video has helped you. And like always, if you haven't already, jump in the private community, because Devonport was a location we have been talking about for months, right? Community members brought it up. And if you are out of the loop, then you are missing potential locations to invest into. So make sure you jump in and I will be able to help you out. Till next time, thank you.